is the 58th occasion upon which this cup has been played for.
The winner of the gold medal
and the champion golfer
of the year.
It's called the Open because in theory it's open to all, professional and amateur golfers alike. In reality, 72 golfers teed it up here at Burnham, all with one common goal. We had major champions, winners on the DP World Tour, a number of live players, PGA professionals who play regionally, amateur international golfers, and PGA Tour winners. All with one thing in common, hoping to tee it up with the world's best golfers in the greatest tournament in the world. The short but nervous walk to the first tee. Players and caddies meet, exchanging pleasantries. A final good luck is whispered. A small but friendly crowd awaits the opening tee shot from the players. The pre-shot routine is complete. Deadly silence. Time seems to stand still. A fairway splitting opening tee shot between the sandy dunes. The day begins. A steady two-putt par to begin with. A slightly erratic approach shot combined with a bad bounce resulted in trouble on the second hole. A couple of hacks later, and unfortunately a double bogey was carded. It was important not to let the early setback affect Paul, and a really good approach shot into the third hole would give himself a makeable birdie opportunity. The contours of the green bringing the ball closer and closer to the hole. An early birdie to right the wrongs of the previous hole. It was not to be. The fourth hole, a reachable in two par 5, a birdie required for Paul. A mini driver pulled out the bag. A perfect strike. Ball rolling up the hill onto the green close to the pin. A genuine eagle opportunity. One putt to get us back to where we started the day. Paul to take advantage of a brilliant second shot. Back to level par. A shortened fifth hole, a little par 3 designed to recreate the one which will face the players at Troon. The centre of the green found and a birdie opportunity awaits. A chance to get under par, a beautifully struck putt down the hill finds the bottom of the cup. A cheer from the crowd is acknowledged by Paul. After a drop shot from Paul, here is an opportunity to get back into red figures and it's taken. Stood here on the 9th tee at 1 under par. A good approach into the par 3. 20 foot left to go to 2 under par for the tournament. A putt to go 2 under par at the turn, but it wasn't to be. An out of position tee shot on the 10th resulted in a bogey, but here we are on the par 5 looking to bounce back. A lengthy discussion resulted in a 5-iron being chosen. The intention being to land the ball well short of the green and let the ball run up onto the putting surface. The plan executed well with a brilliant iron shot from Paul. The ball scampering up the green, coming to rest on the back fringe. A difficult chip for Paul. The speed judged to perfection. A birdie opportunity that needs to be taken. 4 foot stands between Paul and being under par for the tournament. An iron shot played into the heart of the green resulted in a 20-foot downhill putt. Again, judged to perfection and finding the bottom of the cup. Paul was making his move. 2 under par with a handful of holes remaining of the first round. Player and caddy dreaming of open qualification. A trio of pars followed before the tee shot on the par 3 found the greenside bunker. Being short-sided, it was important to find the putting surface, and Paul did that. A putt was left to remain 2 under par. Unfortunately, it just slipped by, and Paul would slip back to 1 under with 1 hole to play of the first round. Two blows down the last hole resulted in another visit to the bunker. A decent bunker shot would leave Paul requiring a good putt to secure an under par first round. A 20-foot par putt to make lunch taste a little sweeter. It was deservedly holed. A positive and good morning's work. Paul still in with a chance of securing 1 of 4 places at this year's Open Championship. At 1:30, exactly 20 minutes after completing the first round, we were again on the first tee ready to hit the opening tee shot of Paul's second round. Another fairway splitting drive right between the dunes. Paul was off. Could he make the 4 or 5 birdies required to secure a place in this year's Open Championship? A lofted iron shot hit to within 7 foot of the pin would give Paul another birdie opportunity. Although a slight improvement on the second hole, a 5 was scored and that resulted in a drop shot. Paul needed an up and down here at the par 5 to get back into red figures. The ball running a difficult 4 foot past the pin, leaving Paul with a tricky downhill birdie putt. Paul at this stage was putting beautifully. This putt was no exception and a birdie scored. A few birdie putts came and unfortunately weren't capitalised on. A string of pars. Paul's tee shot found a fairway bunker on a difficult par 4, meaning he had to lay up. A bogey or worse seemed inevitable. A tricky par chip here for Paul, realistically looking to get up and down. A good bogey, if there is such a thing. Paul found himself in a second consecutive bunker. A good approach shot, but again looking at a par putt of some length. With needing to be 4 or 5 under par to make it through, Paul's chances were fading fast. Paul, being the competitor he is, was never giving up. This lengthy par putt just slipping by the hole, which would result in another disappointing bogey. Unfortunately, Paul was now out of contention. After 2 shots, we were short of the green on 18. Paul was left with a chip over the bunker. A surprising firm bounce and the ball drifted past the hole, leaving Paul with 10 foot for a par. Unfortunately, the putter remained cold. A drop shot on the final hole. Along with 72 other players, there was no place for Paul at this year's Open Championship. A day which promised so much. Golf is like life, with many highs and lows. At one stage I was dreaming myself of caddying in the Open Championship. It was my second time caddying at final qualifying for the Open for Paul, and hopefully it won't be my last. Thanks to everyone who made the trip to Burnham to give Paul and me their support. This day is always a highlight in my golfing calendar.
Well, boys, the day has come to an end. How do you feel? A little bit disappointed?
Yeah, towards the end.
Yeah.
I mean, the wind picked up on the back 9 and struggled then, from then onwards.
Honestly, I thought from the tee you were playing some of the best golf I've ever seen you play.
Yeah, it was good. I was in play every time. Any slight misses I had, I think I got quite severely punished, really.
Yeah.
But just my own play was shocking today, really.
Is it a surprise to see the tall players rising to the top of this leaderboard?
No, not really.
No.
They do it week in, week out.
The course is that tough that, you know, the top players are going to come through. So yeah, it's yeah.
Well, I think you both need to hold your heads very high, because I think that's been
Bernie
a
was
valiant
really
effort. Bernie, you're going to have a nice soak in the bath, bit of raid up,
yeah, I didn't
sort you out.
I said I was going to carry 36 holes. What a mistake that was.
I think there was a trolley on about the 9th as well. You could
Nearly
have
took
picked
it.
that up. Anyway, Paul, well done, mate. That was
Thank
a very
you.
good
Yeah, I
effort.
enjoyed it.
It's been a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, it was
Bernie,
good.
it's been a pleasure to watch
Cheers,
you struggle around that golf course. And I'll see everybody again very soon.